Looking sharp as ever.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to live coverage of Bazaar of Moxen, Madrid. I'm Riley Knight in the booth with Joel Larsson. It's a great pleasure to welcome you for our first stop on the European tour here for the Bazaar of Moxen this year. We are in Madrid, of course. Later on in the year, we'll be at Annecy, Strasbourg, London, Paris, and Brussels. Looking forward to this European whirlwind tour, Joel.
Sure,
absolutely.
Sure, it's gonna be great.
We've got a range of formats today, mate. What are we going to be checking in on with today?
So today we're gonna look at Legacy, and Standard.
And Standard as well. So a main focus on Legacy, I understand. I mean, a format that I know you're intimately familiar with. It'll be excellent to really plumb the depths of this very old and very powerful format. You know, Legacy, a format that I've always really liked. Very slow to adapt, very slow to change. Shifts are very subtle. You know, which I like. I like a lot. And of course, Standard, where we can just ram all the best cards in the format into 4 colours and call it a day. Looking forward to see some of the things that are brought to bear there as well. Tomorrow, though, a little bit of a change.
Yep, it's going to be modern and seal deck.
And some seal deck as well. So modern, interesting to see the complete and total domination of over the Gatewatch cards in the form of Eldrazi.
The Eldrazi invasion is here.
Oh, absolutely, that's it. I mean, it's a huge flavour victory, if nothing else. You know, I do enjoy the way that we've really sort of hammered that home.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this was the Eldrazi invasion that we're looking for.
No,
but
it's the one we deserve.
It definitely made it.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Very interesting to see the way that Ayavugan and Eldrazi Temple have completely turned the format on its head. So we'll be checking in with that tomorrow. We might have a cube draft as well if we can find the time for it. I know Bazaar of Moxen have brought their considerable cube to bear here. It's an absolute cracker.
Yeah, it's
no booster tutor.
No proxies either.
No pox?
Proxies.
Oh, no proxies. Okay. No.
This is cube.
This is proper cube. That's it. Except of course no booster tutor, which I find enormously terrifying. But that's fine. You can't have it all. It's fantastic, and we did get a chance to have a look at some of these cube plays yesterday, and hopefully we'll be able to give you some more of that action tomorrow. But today, as we say, the story is all about Legacy and it's all about Standard. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Standard. Of course, you'd be well up on what's going on there. Is it as simple as just jamming the best 60 cards in a deck and calling it a day, or?
It kind of feels like it, but not 100%. I think we're going to see a lot of green collected company decks in different combinations. We have Bant, we have Rally, and so on. And then we're going to see the opposite side of Ramp. And then we're going to have the 4-colored good stuff.
4-color good stuff decks. Yeah. One interesting thing that I've seen within the last few weeks or months is the sort of departure from Abzan and moving. Well, I guess it's still Abzan colors, but the Mardu clan has really come to the fore with some very Crackling Doom in a very good spot. Obviously, like that, people moving away from Mantis Rider. Interesting to see the way that this has sort of tilted the format on a certain axis.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Now people are mostly just splashing for Siege right now.
Yeah.
Powerful magic card.
Yeah, very powerful magic card here. Yeah. Pretty good.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see if Mantis Strider can make a comeback here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I kind of like it in the format right now, so we'll see if that happens.
I was going to ask your position. You're like, do you think it's in a reasonable position right now to get at some of these? I know ramp-based strategies have a lot of trouble dealing with an early like Jace into Mantis Rider start, so that might be the way a good position to attack the format.
Yeah, I think both against ramp and also against these collected company decks that kind of tries to block up the ground, but they're not very good against these big angry flyers.
No, that's true.
Especially if you back them up with counter spells. So we'll see if that kind of comes and attacks the format from a different
interesting
angle.
to see. I mean, Mantis Rider, he's been riding tall at the top of the format for a long time, but hitting the bench for a little bit here. The talk of the town at the moment, Joel, in Standard, of course, though. I mean, we can't go very far. I've already touched upon it. Band Company. What a deck this is! What a deck this is! I tell you what, I mean, I have been living up to a very proud tradition of losing horribly with it on Magic Online. But it's one of those decks that even when you're losing, you feel like you're going to win. And the power level on that deck is horrific. It's so good.
Yeah, collected company is quite a card.
I guess that's it.
And Standard can really see that.
Yeah. But just instant speed reflector mages, it's just insane. I really like the inclusion of Stratus Dancer as well as a way to get around a lot of an uncounterable counterspell, if you like.
But the thing with collected company is it's a very interesting card because it grows as the format gets bigger.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because the more sets that comes in, the more powerful 2 and 3 drops are going to be printed.
Yeah.
And now Standard's kind of at its peak.
Yeah, right.
And now there's so many good 2 drops and 3 drops just get in at instant speed with this. And Reflector Mage especially, as you said, that's a big cornerstone on this format.
Absolutely, Reflector Mage, an absolute powerhouse. I mean, I remember looking at it and going, I'm going to enjoy that. But it's kind of, it reminds me of Sphinx's Revelation. I put a Sphinx Revelation in a standard deck ages and ages ago, and whenever I drew it, I'm like,
this is actually
kind of good. Yeah. And I had exactly the same thing with Reflector Mage. Like every time I drew, I'm like, wow, this card's bonkers. Yeah, I should play more of it. Oh man, I drafted a couple of days ago.
Sure.
Got Displace Eldrazi.
Yeah.
And Reflector Mage. Yeah. Oof. I had some very salty opponents.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Some very salty opponents. I mean, I felt disgusting. Yeah, I felt horrible.
I remember my friend Fabrizio had played a lot of Stand Online, and it's like, I had it with these Reflector Mages. Yeah. First time he plays Modern, comes in, plays against Merfolk, dispatches Reflector Mage.
Perfect. Yeah. No, the card's fantastic. The card's really good.
I might actually see some play Modern. We shall see.
Really? Yeah, there we go. Interesting. There you go. Shooting from the hip. You heard it from the American Killer over here. So our action is not too far away. Players are getting seated as we speak. We're in this beautiful professional-looking booth here in Bazaar of Moxen. We've got a wide sweeping view of the tournament floor. You can see all the players lining up over there, and very much enjoying the atmosphere here in Madrid. In a beautiful hotel. Yeah, been fantastic. I enjoyed sleeping on the fold-out bed in our room. That was good. Waking you up at 12:30 last night.
You snooze, you lose.
Well, yes. Well, in my case, no, I didn't snooze, and I still lost. So that was how it goes. In any case, but as I say, yes, action not too far away here in Madrid, and perhaps we won't be seeing too many Reflector Mages around the tables in Legacy, but
no, probably not.
No.
We're gonna. I think that's the most interesting thing about Legacy right now is gonna see if how far the Eldrazi invasion can reach.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it can actually invade.
Is that your thought?
Yeah.
I think with Legacy, and it has a huge amount of these sort of pressure valves.
Sure.
And with Force of Will, with Days, these sorts of things that are always making sure no one's having too much fun. You can have some fun in Legacy, but just be reasonable, not too much.
But you also got to remember that in Legacy you don't only have Eldrazi Temple and Ivugin.
Oh yeah.
You also have Ancient Tomb,
of course.
City of Traders.
Yeah.
You have 8 Spirit Guides to show
from. Of course.
And also playing a turn 1 Trinisphere in Legacy.
That's a pretty big game.
Yeah. There's not a lot of decks that can actually beat that.
And the more I think, there's a lot of decks that can't beat a 5/5 Trampler, actually, when you think about it. No, that's very true. Oh, well, there you go. We may see if anyone's come up with a creative concoction here to take down Legacy. There you go. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Joel Larsson giving you the inside tip how to take down your next Bazaar of Moxen Legacy event.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's good to see Bazaar. It's good to see Bazaar supporting a format like Legacy on the front page.
I think so too. I think it's been a very important pillar for all the Eternal formats, actually. So I think it's great that we're pushing it.
Absolutely,
here.
Yeah.
It's a great format overall.
It is a really good format, and this is slightly inaccessible to many players, and not perhaps as many tournaments as you'd like. But when Legacy comes out to strut its stuff, it really does put on a show for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. There's always a lot of interesting plays, and the decision starts at turn 1, turn 0.
Turn 0, that's it. Yeah,
and that's just great.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Anything that where you really do have to be on point. This Legacy the slightest sort of error or suboptimal play is punished so much more heavily than say in a format like Standard. So
for sure.
That's right. So, as we say, not too far away from heading down to the feature match area here at Bazaar of Moxen. I'd like to thank you for joining us here today, of course, proving yourself to be a person of great taste and refinement by tuning in, getting stuck in with the best wizards in Spain and from around Europe, of course. And later on, of course, we've got a real treat for the players, of course. It's not just American Kibler and Australian Larson, as I'm trying to get that going. It's not really working. But we also have the world record holder for the greatest number of Magic Pro points, the Hall of Famer Raphael Levy himself. He'll be in the booth a bit later on, so definitely stick around for that, because if you thought it couldn't get any better than this, you're probably right. But still, Raph Levy is going to be here as well, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's shaping up to be a pretty excellent weekend.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
What would you be
getting ready, and I think there's a nice atmosphere here.
Yeah,
kind of calm. Yeah, but it's kind of like the calm before the storm.
Calm before the storm. That's it. Calm before the storm. That's right. What would you be bringing here if you were playing in the standard Open or this weekend? What would you bring to take down the tournament?
Good question. I think I would probably brew something, or take a recent brew that my friend and teammate Martin Mueller just won a Mox event with a.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
He is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So
that's right. He's very good, and he took it down with a interesting Jeskai Dragons list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Ojita in there.
I think one or two.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the idea is to play big flyers like Manus Rider, Thunderbreak Regents, and so on, and you back it up with Silumgar Scorn.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay.
And Dig for Time.
Yeah.
And Jace, obviously.
Come on.
Put him in there. That's like Reflector Mage. Just put him in there.
You're playing blue. You put him in there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think that list was really interesting. I think he almost went undefeated. I think he lost one match.
Yeah, I mean these Scandos really. People from Scandinavia, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. They're unbeatable. I mean, I remember it was only a couple of months ago where all the Danes turned up to the GP with the rally deck. Completely splintered the format.
Not only the Danes though.
No, who else?
It was all of them were from my team.
Okay.
From Team Eureka. So there was also Magnus Lanzo in the top 8. And let's see, it was Martin Mueller, Simon Nielsen, Magnus Lanzo in the top 8.
Yeah, that was a stacked top 8.
Yeah, I think Martin Dang missed on X2-1.
He was very close.
Yeah, and I went X3 myself.
Yeah.
Pretty good event.
It was, I mean, and that deck has continued to show its colours throughout the standard format. I mean, I mean, can you, I mean, sort of give us any sort of perspectives on how to beat or like play or beat, because it's just every time you say so, okay, take a couple here, I'm on 5, I'm fine, then you get there and they're just like, nah, kill you, sorry mate. Like this, that's how it goes.
I think it's like Rally is weird in a way where it feels like you're always ahead against Rally, but it just starts to slip away every second that goes by.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, this is the incremental advantage of like having every card matters if they're either in the graveyard or in your hand or in play. It's really big for that deck with the combo finish that it has. And if it like now with Reflector Mage, it can also play a tempo game.
It's good.
You know, so it's the deck is crazy great.
Well, I mean that was really one of its weaknesses. I think was a lack of interaction. But now with Reflector Mage, it's sort of you get in these positions where you're fighting and you sort of think, okay, well I can preserve my life total and play defensively and get in here with the flyers, whatever else, and then all of a sudden they rally you out for 15 or whatever. Yeah. But then if you go, okay, I'll get on the front foot, I'll be aggressive, then they can just like chip away at you, and then eventually your Nantuko Huskers are bissing you every turn. Yeah. All of a sudden you're just dead because without them casting rally. Exactly. It's just one of those decks that just sort of hits you on whatever axis you're trying to play on. So
it can play a little bit tempo, a little bit grindy, and then it can combo out.
So how do you fight it?
As we talked about before, it's not great against good flyers backed up with counter spells. I think that's its biggest weakness for sure. And then you can also go over the top, play stuff like Ugin and stuff like that. But I mean, those games are still close. I think it's called the best deck of standard right now for a very good reason. And it's just a very powerful deck.
It is, but again, we were talking about branching decision trees before, and this is one of those decks where really, I mean, you have to be on point. You really have to bring a game, huh?
That's very true. I mean, I think that's one of the main reasons why we aren't seeing like this insane amount of rally. That is the threshold of playing it perfectly is quite high.
It's very high,
and its game plan doesn't adapt to everybody, you know.
No, it's not intuitive, is it? No,
I don't think so.
I mean, Seatrine is a very easy Magic card to play. It says on the card what to do.
Exactly.
When it enters the battlefield, I'll put it into the battlefield.
I have 4 mana too. Sure.
That's it.
I just do this.
That's okay. All right. That's sort of it all. It's this one card combo. But with Rally, it's difficult to again see the lines, figure out where you're going to be in 2, 3, 4 turns. And managing all the different pieces of the puzzle.
For sure. And I also think that what a lot of players aren't used to in standard is sideboarding with that kind of deck. Because it's still this kind of weird combo deck that you don't want to take away too much of the cards from its main deck, because the main deck is just built to do this one great thing, along its game plan. And if you take away too many cards from the main to cards that are actually good in the matchup, the game plan kind of weakens.
Yeah, it dilutes it. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And that kind of makes it harder to sideboard with it.
I mean, this is some of the stuff that your friend and mine, Frank Karsten, was talking about with his post-Pro Tour affinity perspectives, and the way that he has this very interesting kind of modular approach to building sideboards, because he will